But can I finish telling y'all my little quantum biology thing? Maybe it's not that interesting. No, but I was thinking like, okay, people get that fit. Okay, I was on death.
Yeah.
I used to be really scared of death. Now I'm uncomfortably comfortable with the idea of death.
You should be.
And I'm thinking, right? But I'm thinking, is that a fucking scary thing? Is that inviting the energy like, bro, if I die, I die. It doesn't fucking matter. Is that inviting some sort of invisible energy to your life? And what made me think that is all these rappers, right? It's a reoccurring theme. All these rappers that drop albums. We have famously XXXTentacion, Tupac, Biggie, right? Biggie dropped Life After Death. We know Tupac, he was infatuated with death. XXXTentacion was on IG Live a week before he died saying, if I die, you know what I mean? Is it a certain type of invisible energy that these guys kind of feel, and that quantum mechanics interfering with biology is the reason why they die?
It's a possibility. Yeah, it makes sense.
Does that sound crazy, Mel? No. Do you follow it at all? Because I don't know if I sound crazy.
But I don't know if it's in this room. But like
what did you take before you
talking about death? I get chills on my back, and I'm not scared to die either.
He just wants to tackle you.
Nah, I don't know what's going on. Seriously, it's weird. You just talking about death, and it's like, damn, you really can't be. Maybe it's because you know your potential. You know, maybe if someone does kill you, you know that they fucked up because they violated someone that had more potential, and people have seen it. So, I don't know.
So can I tell you, the relation with me and death is so weird, and I'm not infatuated with death, but I use death to motivate me, right? Because like if I have a bad day, I'm like, fuck, yo, I told myself I wasn't going to do this shit again, and here I am again. But then I think, listen, the only how I'm going to give up on myself is if I die. Because if I don't die, I'm going to continue pushing all my chips to the middle of the table and say, let's go. Right? And then in the same breath, another way that death helps me psychologically in a positive way is if I'm thinking like, yo, we all know that death is very realistic. The people around us can die at any point, right? Mm-hmm. Sad to say, it is what it is. That's one of the things I got from Stoicism, and that's why you should appreciate the people that you have around you on a daily basis. If you ever thought about, Leo, what if my girl dies? Like, I know there's people that think like that. You know, if I ever go into that spiral, what I think about, I'm worrying about people around me dying when I might die before all of them.
And that's some anxiety right there.
Yeah, that's a fact.
It don't even bring anxiety, bro.
Thinking, well, nah, it's not bringing. It's anxiety doing the work of thinking about what's to come.
Yeah,
the uncertainty of what's to come. That's why just living in that moment. That's what you got to do. Once you start thinking about what's to come, that might not come. What's gonna happen that day? What's gonna happen that day? That's when these thoughts just start developing on their own, and they're just like, oh, that could happen. That could happen. Things that. Anxiety is never right. Most of it's never right.
You think so? I don't agree with that.
Going into high school, I heard all these stories. Freshman Friday, you hear these stories like you're just getting bullied every Friday in high school. And I'm first Friday of high school. I'm like, oh my god,
I'm a little white boy. I'm about to get taken advantage of.
I'm so scared. You hear about this one kid that got thrown down a flight of stairs, but you can't think about what you're doing. You're thinking about what's to come. Oh, I can't think about what I'm doing. Yeah. I'm worried about what that person probably won't be doing to me.
Yeah.
I never got touched in high school. No homo.
Wow, because you was rolling with Mal Stowe. Come on.
You wasn't even there.
I was never there.
Quantum biology. They felt the energy of his
I was about to lead a
incumbent presence.
Nah, but anxiety is never what it is.
Yeah, facts.
I like
thoughts
that.
about anxiety are never what it is.
That is true because you don't know.
You don't know.
Unless you do.
And as long as you're taking the right steps to what you want, that's all you can do. And that's as long as you're being as true to yourself as possible, that energy fuels energy, bro.
The reason why I don't agree with 1000% anxiety is always wrong is because I think from number one, we could start talking about capitalism again, but maybe it's not solely capitalism. It's just the evolution of the human state in the sense that we have been a people of minimalism, right? We've hunted animals, we followed animals. We didn't have much. Now we live in society where there's abundance, and human beings have never existed in that state prior to now, and as of very recently. And we've developed all these senses. I think anxiety was a sense developed for survival.
For sure.
Right?
Just that instinct.
Instinct, yeah. Now we don't use it that much.
Right.
But I do think that there's times that may pop up where, once again, quantum biology. I don't know shit about quantum biology, but I'm going to dive deep into it. Like, I really like the concept of it. Maybe we get anxiety sometimes where, something might really be wrong, or it's warning us for something.
Yeah.
Because our ancestors, it's so deeply embedded in our DNA that our ancestors needed it for survival.
For sure. That makes a lot of sense.
It's just a funny balance, because now that we don't need all of those senses, it's probably a little hyperactive.
That's pretty cool to think. Like, a few hundred years ago, you would need that anxiety.
Yeah.
Now you're a whole different person because you don't need it.
One thou wow.
I think we let our...
Wow, you really
One
said
thou
that.
wow. I'm sorry. But think about you. Think about how this anxiety could help you. And this is what the scientists are saying, why quantum biology is it really helps you survive. What if you're in Africa, right? And you're laying in your hut and a bunch of lions are coming a mile away. You can't see, hear, or smell those lions yet, but maybe you get a weird feeling and it's like, something is about to fucking happen. I don't know. Bro, for humans to survive in the fucking horrible conditions that we currently, we were started in, it had to be some of that.
For sure.
It's fight or flight anxiety.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but in that situation, then that...
Not fight or flight, because you can't see or hear the lions, but you have a feeling like, I need to be alert, because I feel like something is about... Oh, shit, the lion is there.
Ever told on a nigga? No. Ever squeezed a trigger? Yep. Ever set a nigga up? No. Ever helped a brother out when he was down on his luck?